Got you where I used to lay. Well, ha ha, too bad. But you know what they say. Stop sniffling. You're gonna make some plastic surgeon, rich man. Oh, for the prestige and the glory. Another human interest story. Oh.
That sucks.
You are that.
Fuck me. So I didn't miss it, but I missed 332 by 10 points. Oh no. Motherfucker, I feel like I have to go back for that. I guess we'll see.
Into you cause I need it. Find out what the thing was for, then read it. Man, the time came to explode. I was ape wide, 'cause I thought I got little teeth, but I didn't mean it. But you messed with good though, honey, you gotta pay. Yeah. In the hole while waiting for that number to get called out. I found out what the way was about. I was a good time. Yeah, I got pretty good. Changing tires, upstairs, bro. I shot my mouth off and you showed me what that hole was for.
Yes. Hey. Oh man, starting to get into that phase of I don't want to play this shit anymore. Ticks aren't amazing, but whatever. I'm just glad to have gotten this. I knew I had to go back after getting that 331 990, both for my own personal sanity and so I didn't get comments asking if I was going to go for 332. Because apparently that's still like a thing people do. But you know, I get it. It's the next 1,000 milestone. It's actually pretty important. Overall, I thought this was gonna be like a pretty mountainous thing to overcome. You know, you just hear double squeeze and you get intimidated when it's this many of them in a row, but yeah, I mean the tempo is so high that it's hard to even classify them as doubles in the same way as other songs. The good thing about this song is that it pretty much just comes down to the same activation method for all but the fourth squeeze, which isn't really anything. It just requires decent whammy. It's just about getting that double strum activation and learning the back end timing. I'm not entirely convinced there isn't another 400 on the last act. That's something that I think I'm just going to test because I am curious about it, and it shouldn't be a huge headache. There's only 2 whammies, and yeah, looking at the tempo chart here, I actually should have delayed my last act, I think. The reason I delay the second act is because the strumming for it starts at 246 beats BPM and then drops to 242 on the last set of green yellows right before the red blue, and I just delay it to the second set of red blue because it's just easier for the back end to not have to worry about switching frets and doing a quick double strum. But the tempo stays at 242 after it drops throughout the entirety of, well, actually, oh, it drops to 241 about 3/4 of the way through, but by then I feel like, I don't know, man, tempo stuff is confusing. Basically, from my understanding, you want to spend as much time in low tempo as possible for, star power usage, and then I think you want your back ends to be on as high of BPM as possible. But again, this stuff is all confusing. That's the reason why I didn't switch the first activation around, even though I really would have liked to. Not only do I not super enjoy activating on the first set of chords, just because, I don't know, I guess it's just harder to find the rhythm right at the beginning. That's what I like about the second act change that I made. The other problem with the first act is that since you're activating on the nearly ideal path over star power notes, you can't see if you overlap the front end, which is a big problem with if you're trying to use extended hit window, since star power notes are blue flame regardless. Like the notes that give you the star power phrase notes are blue regardless. But that also begs the question why I didn't change the last act, and I really don't have a good answer for that. The last act back end is just really awkward for me because it ends on a singular chord, which not only is just kind of awkward to fret, but in my opinion, well, it's not even honestly in my opinion, it's just kind of a matter of fact that you should try to aim for your back ends to be on notes of sequential fretting if they're this close together, right? Because the note doesn't activate until you fret it, regardless of when you strum it, obviously within the 3-frame window, or else you just miss. But yeah, so you want to be preemptively fretting your back ends, and so that's why it's always advantageous to try to end on a double fret back end. On that same note, that's something that I was trying to do for the verse whammy as well, is just make sure to do like a hammer-on motion after the strum before the sustain to make sure to activate that as soon as possible. I put so much practice into doing that. I was practicing early whammy pretty much every single run just because that last act is the only one that uses it, and I knew I was going to get fucked over by it repeatedly if I wasn't locked in for it. Yeah, that's about all. Like I said, I thought this would be a much bigger, like, multi-day kind of thing, so I was kind of intimidated by it, but it was just a quick practice session, or a quick, kind of like practice timing session after I finished Strutter yesterday and finished this up today in a couple hours, so pretty cool.